as we get into this little area here, you remember me telling you that the lake came all the way up here to the county line, and we put about 4 inches of water under the county line. Well, you can see right there, that is the pipe that runs under the county road right there. It's not the county line, it's just county road. But you can see that we're here in Murray County. But you can see there is the pipe, and there's water, and the water's about probably 3 or 4 inches in that pipe. And that pipe does not run under the county road. It runs over here close. The pipe right up here in front of me does run under the county road in a bridge, and it runs under right there. So you can see we really don't have water in that. That's a bridge right there that you're seeing on the other side of that fence. Kind of hard to make out, but that's a concrete built bridge there, and the water runs over, and that's my neighbor Pat Howe's land over there, and he built him a nice pond over there. By us putting this lake here, he caused that pond to be about 2 or 3 times larger than it was going to be, so that was a nice thing. And you can see how that's grown up now. That bushes have grown up so much while that water was down. Even though there's going to be a lot of fish get up in that, and that water, if the lake goes ahead and continues to come on up, you can see here's another where the pipe runs from the other, runs underneath and comes to the other side. And again, you can see that pipe's nearly full of water, nearly all the way up. But again, you couldn't get your boat in there and fish, so that's going to be like a sanctuary area for the fish. Crazy, crazy. Pretty as this. I guess you could tell by the excitement in my voice that it's been so long since we've had this lake this way. We've had such a drought for the last 3 or 4 years. It's the thunder rolls. As Oklahoman Garth Brooks would say, the thunder rolls. But you can look at that lake. It's pretty much close to the 77-acre maximum. It's not quite up to the pipes, but it might get there, especially if we get a little bit more rain tonight. There's still water running in from several sources around. About every little drain's running in, so we're still getting water in the lake. I'm gonna go ahead and walk down through here. It's a good way to get snake bit, but I don't think there'll be any snake bits up here on this dam. Any snake bits, any rattlesnakes up here on this dam. I'm hoping not, and if they are, I hope that I don't step on one. If I step on one, he's definitely gonna bite me. This is my overflow. Now, you see the white there on the end. I'm gonna walk out there on it if I can, without falling in the lake. But you see that white, that is I put that on there in case my engineering did not work and the water would not come up from that pipe and overflow. It's not quite up there, and I think it may be, I'm guessing around a foot. I'm gonna go walk out there on it and take a look at it and see. But probably, we'll go walk out there and see. But water comes up from 4 pipes that run out in front of the dam out there, in front of the dam, and they go down to about 40 feet deep. They're about 40 feet deep right now. And the water comes up, and as water seeks its own level, and it will actually overflow up from the bottom. So the water from the bottom will go out. Now, once it gets a foot above those pipes, it's gonna run over the top and overflow, which I hadn't done that in a long time. But let me see if I can get down there on that thing and see what I can do, hopefully. And but look at that big pocket back up in there. You can go back up in that big pocket, way back up there in those trees. All that bank over there. We've got a lane over there in those trees. I can fish down there and fish the shoreline with spinner baits. This big point over here to my left, I'll go over here kind of fast to that point. That big point to my left's got rocks all the way out on it. It's incredible. Those fish love to get on those rocks. But you can see there, and this water is, I believe, 59 foot deep out in front of it when the lake's completely full. So it's 55 feet plus out there right now, which is way down there. That's what Big Canyon's supposed to look like. We knew that it had a good possibility of leaking, and it does. We knew it would be difficult to fill it, and it was, and it is. But when it's right, it's worth every penny we spend on it. It's just so exciting to be able to launch on that boat ramp like we're gonna be able to do one day this week, and fish for a few hours out here. And my partner, Aaron Wells, as you know, Steve's son, they love this lake probably more than they love the other lake. I love Twin Eagle better than I do Big Canyon, but I love them both. I love them both. And but they love this lake. It's really an easy lake to fish, and it's got a lot of fish in it. Easy to catch them here. But Nellie got out there on that. Let's see if I can get down there without falling down, without dropping my phone. You drop your phone here, it's obviously liable to go in the lake. But the other part that might happen is it could very easily My bum knee, my right knee, is pretty bad. And she just jumped off in there. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I got up here on it. Look at her just swimming around out there. Okay, now here's exactly, Benelli, you silly dog. Here's exactly what I was talking about. You see these big pipes? Those are 6-inch pipes, and they go down, and then they angle out into the water out there, straight down the dam bank, and it goes down deep. Now, water should be in those pipes all the way up to here. And once it comes up, it's going to overflow and flow over into this overflow system right there. You see that that's got moisture down in there just from the rain is all. And then it runs out the big pipe here out into the lake. I don't know if that was a raindrop I felt there. That's Benelli shaking a little bit. But that will carry them out those 4 pipes. Now, I was told by engineers that I asked about that would really not work, and if it did, it'd siphon the lake, which it did. It does work. It did not siphon the lake. So I put a couple over here on the side. There's one on this side. There's one on the other side over here as well. And I put those on there in case my engineering did not work. I could take the caps off those, and they could overflow out of those down into the overflow spillway. And but as it turns out, water will flow through those. It will continue to flow through there. Be really cold water coming off the bottom. The worst water in your lake is on the bottom. It's not on the top. Your best water on the lake is up near the surface. So you want the water that you can go out of the lake if you can. Now the other lake's not designed. It won't work that way. But if you can, you want the water to come off of the bottom and overflow out. And once it's overflowing too much, it's going to run over and come out of this 4 by 5 foot box on top. And I've seen the water a foot or foot and a half over the top of this. So it holds a lot of water. This has run over the emergency spillway, which is right down there. As I go out, I'll kind of show you where that emergency spillway is, and you kind of imagine it with a foot or 2 of water over it, because I saw it that way back in 2015. We don't want those kind of rains again. But it's nice. Looks really, really nice. All right, boys and girls, right there is the storm. And it's got a couple little tails hanging down from it in places, which is not good. We know what those are here in Oklahoma for sure. It is rumbling, it is rolling back there, and it's moving a little bit closer all the time. I have not seen any raindrops yet. I thought I felt 1 raindrop, but we are a couple, 2 or 3 miles from the ranch house, so hopefully we can get back over there before the rain does, and it's going to rain at the house before it rains here. But I just enjoy spending time out here and looking at this that God created. We dammed up the creek to help him, but God created all this. Isn't it great? He created that storm that's coming in there too. And got a little tail hanging down right there. A little tail hanging down right there in the center. Those sometimes get carried away. I couldn't help myself. I thought I'd drive back down to this dock before. I'm so pleased that this water's up at this dock. And I somehow, in shooting the other video, I hit slow-mo on this iPhone. And so I ruined some of that video. I don't know how much of it I ruined, probably about all of it. But isn't that a pretty sight out through there? Look at that. Will you look at that? Isn't that just beautiful? And I know the one thing, I don't know what all I said when I was down there before. I know one thing I said, I sure wish I had a fishing pole, because that's the thing that's fresh on my mind right now, is I sure wish I had a fishing pole. I could throw out there amongst all the buck bushes right in there and catch some bass. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind about it. I could throw in this canyon up here. I mentioned before that the water's 7 or 8 or 9 foot deep in the middle of these 3 stalls right here. They're not that deep where the poles are. We brought a drag line in here and dug these out. And then we caught the drag line as we was up there. We caught it on one of those trees and busted a hydraulic hose. And $80 for a new hose. $800 for... But Ellie's thinking about jumping in right there. She said, that's a pretty jump. That'd be fun. Oh, she's thinking about it, didn't she? I promise you I could throw a dummy out there, a floating dummy, she'd hit that water 100 miles an hour. That little 2 foot drop there, it's probably about 2 foot down to the water right there. It gets up right to the bottom of that board when it's completely full. So it's probably about a foot deep is all. And hoping we're not switched over on slow-mo. That little pocket that goes right up in there, behind those bushes, it goes up in there about 40 yards. It's great fishing. There'll be good fish on that bank over there, all this bank down through there, that little cut that goes through. Right there, where you can see it cuts through, and you can actually cut through and go into the rest of the lake there, or you can go straight. And then here, of course, here you got a little creek coming in here. Talked about that earlier, so maybe being redundant. Or you might not even see the other. I don't know. What's a slow-mo? I don't know what Pat will do with it. Probably delete it. He deletes a lot of great stuff that I video. But the creek goes up through there, goes off to the left that way. You can go up in there about several hundred yards from looking at right there, several hundred yards. That's a big bunch of water out there. You can't see a lot of it because of the bushes. And there you look about, I don't know how far that is up there, 3/4 mile probably, to the dam. And Big Canyon Lake is looking absolutely beautiful. I'm hoping to get down here and fish half a day, one day this week. I know we'll catch them. The red man spinnerbait time when you get a lake that gets up like this, comes up into all that new stuff. Red man spinnerbait. Yes, sirree, Bob.